Mr. Cooper,
Yeah.
you said the people have fear and they don't want to come to work, or even not allowing each other in the specific region.
Yeah.
What kind of an impact did this lockdown had on your operations and your business? And
I will tell you.
what is the current state of resumption at your facilities since
Okay, I will tell you.
Business? Yeah.
I in that book which I have told you, I have a saying that in life you must know what you don't know.
True.
And find out somebody who does and obey him. Now, I have always spent a lot of time on human relations, and I'm one of the only factories in Satara who employ all local people for the past 40 years.
Wow.
So those people have not had to run away to UP, Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal.
Correct.
They're all local. They've all been with me for more than 30 years. So they're more than willing to come back to work. But that is not the case for others. But in my case, I pay people more, but I've got the benefit.
True.
So we have been dependent on export to the extent of 50-60%.
Correct.
So our export business has grown because those countries don't want China.
True.
But I'm still not back to full capacity because the domestic market is very flat. So that is how we have come back to life.
Got it.
But we have regular checkups. We have given our workers homeopathy tablets like Bajaj Auto has.
Correct.
And we are fortunate. But not everybody is as fortunate as we are.
Got it.
And it is going to take a long time to pick up again.
Yeah. So you touched upon a very right and crucial point about taking care of people who work for you, be it your white collar people or the blue collar employees. What kind of safety challenges you kind of had to tackle during the lockdown, and how did it impact the schedules that you were preparing for your business? This is right.
Our lockdown was very strong. Nothing moved. I mean, it was just an existence. There was a shortage of. I mean, it was an existence. It was very strong, very severe, and painful because you didn't know what will happen tomorrow morning.
Correct.
So that was the lockdown, and factories were totally closed. So that is what it was. And unfortunately, in all this, when things improved or people were allowed to move around, they didn't observe discipline and then kept social distancing, and then it results in spreading of the problem again. I mean, more than 20 people were not allowed to attend the funeral. But the day they opened the liquor shops, 2,000 people were at the shop. I've seen it. So I haven't seen the funeral, but I've seen the liquor shop.
Yeah.
Not that I drink, but this sort of thing doesn't help. This sort of thing doesn't help the situation. But hopefully, I think we're getting out of it. The economy getting out is a long haul, very long haul. It's not going to jump back as we think it will. No.
Correct.
It's going to take time. Everybody's lost 2 or 3 months income, no?
So I picked up one important point from your the first half of conversation that you said, which is you have been engaged in employing people which are locals from Satara. And very less of migrant laborers who are from other states.
So, no migrant labor. Nobody.
So now when it comes to resumption of operations, you may have an advantage to resume operations, but of course now you will have a challenge about the demand and rescheduling your production facility. So please, a few words on that. What was the orders that you had in pipeline, and now how are you going to reschedule everything?
Well, as I said, with the export business, it shot up automatically because whilst the lockdown was on, people were desperately contacting each other on the phone and on the WhatsApp and on the mail and whatever. And we finalized a lot of business. So as soon as the lockdown was lifted, we could get increased business almost automatically.
Okay, and this was
that has been a big help to us.
And this was in all gensets, diesel gensets. So what product application?
No, gensets as well as components.
Okay.
Gensets as well as components. So that has gone well. Domestic market is very uncertain, very, very difficult situation.
All right. So when you say
because of people either not wanting or the manufacturer not able to give because his suppliers are not giving him, or the transporter is there, or some people are not allowed to go to work.
Correct.
It's a very complex situation.
True.
And fear has got into people's mind.
That's true.
So it's going to take a little time. And I think in hindsight, I don't understand why at 8 o'clock at night, you have to lock down the country at 12 midnight. I mean, I watched the Prime Minister, it was very frightening. And that fear hasn't left people's minds, it's there.
Is it?
So,
okay.
Unfortunately.
Correct.
Okay, so, yeah.
Got it. So now the only optimism or say positives that you look into this was the exports for you that have grown.
Exports are there.
Yeah, which are these regions? Which are these regions that you are now exporting?
I'm exporting to Europe, England, America, Japan. I export, and to China, and to China.
Correct.
But that is how it is. But Africa, South Africa,
got it.
More or less globally, But it was going to, you see, unfortunately, it's a vicious circle.
True.
The government is short of resources. People are short of resources. So where is it going to come from?
Yeah.
And it's going to take time, according to me. But the economy has to open up now. I mean, people have to be allowed to earn. If you keep on holding them back, you won't get any income coming in.
True.
Even people have to, hotels have to open, restaurants have to open, people have to move around. Because otherwise, where is that income coming in?
True.
You know, so that is the situation here. I don't know what, in the big cities, it must be worse.
Yeah. So now, how do you manage the operations currently at your plant? I mean, you.
No, our factories are running, but most of the time. So 1 or 2 days in the week, sometimes we have to close.
Correct.
But we are running about 70-75%.
Do you see
compared to other people who are running 30%, 20%, 10%?
Correct.
So that way we're better off. But still, I mean, you're not back to normal.
Sure.
You're not back to normal, and you don't know what tomorrow has in store for you. That is the problem.
Correct.
Transporter is a problem. Every turn you take, there is an issue.
Certainly.
It's not a smooth sailing. I mean, we just started getting newspapers 10 days ago.
True.
Other Times, Economic Times, Indian Express wasn't available. There's no transport. You had to depend on the mobile for your news, electronic media. So that is the situation, and we have to persevere and get out of it.
Correct.
But they have to open up. Government has to open up. Clamping it down is of no use. You're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I think that is
the way people started walking back.
Yeah.
Showed what their desperation.
Exactly.
खाने का नहीं है, हमारा पैसा नहीं, खाने का नहीं, भूखा सोते हैं, भूखे मरते हैं. I mean, that is gone to that level. And those are the arms and legs of the country. Those are the people that ran the country. No?
True. So any new manufacturing and structural changes that you would see, not just in the Indian, industrial manufacturing ecosystem, but also at your end, at your company? I mean,
it's too early to say.
Too
Everybody wants things to stabilize.
Correct.
Everybody wants to stabilize. Okay.
What do you think about the shift from businesses from China to India? I mean, everybody is talking about the new window of opportunity that we may have.
It should come. It's a good opportunity for us.
Yeah.
But eventually they have to decide where they want to go. No?
Correct.
I mean, there are many countries. There's India. There's Vietnam. There's so many other countries. But India is definitely a good option. But it's a matter of choice, really.
True. Could you please also elaborate on your commercial vehicle business, that the engines you were readying up for BS6, and how has been the shift? Because we landed up right in between the transition of BS6. This lockdown just kind of ended up right in middle where we were transitioning to BS6.
Well, we are not in BS6. Our engines are used for gensets and off-road.
Correct.
So that is a different story. But the people who have gone into BS6 mandatorily, the price of the vehicles has gone up.
Yes.
So the demand will go down.
Correct.
I mean, just today, somebody told me that the local RTO office normally registers about 100 vehicles a day.
Yeah.
Today he registered only 10. Only 10 vehicles.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons.
True.
But if your vehicle cost goes up by 3 and 4 lakhs of rupees for an ordinary mid-sized car, that is a dampener on the purchasing power, especially in these situations. And the price of fuel has also gone up, I believe. Price of fuel has gone up, hasn't
it? Yes.
So all these are factors which hold back growth.
Yeah.
That's what.
Correct.
Once growth is allowed, then everything falls into place.
Correct. I mean, really nice takeaways from your experience and your vision, that people need to be now allowed. And we see that with this mission reopening or lockdown 5, which is actually termed as the unlocking 1, we are trying to reopen even from 8th of June. You will see a lot of shops and factories, and even, as you mentioned, hotels and restaurants with some clauses that they will begin to open. And that is the only way that we should look forward while we battle with the coronavirus.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll just tell you one thing. I mean, when I was a child, there was a disease called polio.
Correct.
There was no vaccine for polio till 1960s or 1970s.
Okay.
People used to fall victim to polio and you'd be crippled for life. But still the world lived, no? The world ran.
Correct.
I think the polio vaccine, salt polio vaccine, came in 1958 or 59.
Okay.
But till 1958 or 59, if you had polio, you'd be crippled for life. You would wear calipers and things to move your arms and legs.
Correct.
But I remember the world didn't stop like this,
Okay.
So we hope there's a vaccine.
Sure.
I'm sure with time, some cure will be found. But for that, you can't sort of stop everything.
True.
You have to be careful, you have to be sensible, you have to be disciplined, and then get on with things, no? I mean, that's what Europe has done, but Europe has had bigger casualties than we have.
Yeah. I mean, people are debating about it, like a lot of them saying the herd immunity or community transmission level that we are in, we may, all be, at a chance that we get infected with this disease. And that's why everybody moved on to lockdown. And now the challenge is to reopen.
Lockdown was essential. Everybody's done lockdown. There's no denying that. But moving further now with discipline and with things moving, I'm quite sure you have to find some center path.
Sure.
And if you're disciplined, that center path will be even more effective.
True. So now speaking about discipline, like this time actually will have taught already people to have their own routine and be disciplined about life and not take things granted. I mean, people are counting on their blessings, but are also carrying the crosses. The more the blessings, the lesser the crosses, or the impact of the crosses. So in that sense, we have all learned a lot of lessons, and this might be very important for the entrepreneurial skills and the revival of the economy, as we say. What
I mean,
is your thought?
hygiene doesn't hurt anybody.
True.
I mean, if you don't have rubbish on the road, if you don't have rubbish anywhere, if you have good hygiene,
Yeah.
that will definitely be a deterrent for any disease, any infection.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, these sort of things, if they are improved, like I believe in Surat, they had a plague once, no?
Yes.
And that Surat plague was bad because of bad hygiene. And they had a very official collector who went and cleaned up Surat. And Surat has been clean ever since then. But plague is from rats.
Yes.
The flea bites the rat, and then the flea bites you.
Yeah.
And you get the infected blood, and you get plague. But that is because of bad hygiene. So all these things do help. Anyway, nice talking to you.
Sure.
This is my first interview on Zoom.
Oh,
my daughter was screaming, Zoom is Chinese. Don't go on Zoom. You'll be hacked.
No, it's been owned by a kind of a company, American, but whose roots is Chinese. So the one who invented Zoom, had rejections for 8 times getting a visa for America. But they invented this, founded this in USA. So that's a different story. I mean,
what is the difference between Zoom, Messenger, Skype, and FaceTime? All the same.
More or less the same, but Zoom allows more people here. You can have 500 attendees, and you can get a paid subscription where you can have 500 to 2,000 people, seeing each other, attending the thing. So we can do panel discussions, webinars here. I would just want to end on one update from your end about the different portfolios in the segments that you have. We know about the diesel gensets. You are also working on the CNG,
gas.
Gas.
Yeah.
How would this be impacted?
Running.
Yeah. So
they're running. Well, everything is impacted, but fortunately, people need power, so our sales have started.
Correct.
And our export has started. Exports to Africa, South Africa, they've started.
Yeah. So you have
South Africa had a lot of power problems.
Correct.
So people have.
Correct.
Okay, nice talking to you.
Sure.
Very nice talking to somebody who I can see a face.
Wonderful. Likewise here. Pleasure. Thank you. And I'll keep you posted on this. Thank you so much.